I'd like to call a special meeting of the Cumberland Fire District to order. Thursday, May 2nd, wow, I'm advancing myself, May 2nd at 7 p.m. I will do a roll call. Commissioner Hayden is absent. Commissioner Cucciani?
Present.
Commissioner Santoro?
Present.
Commissioner Hogan?
Here.
Commissioner Picone?
Here.
Commissioner Jones?
Here.
Okay. I'd like to take a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. Would all please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have some, what we are going to do is have a second budget public hearing and first vote to establish the operating budget for the Cumberland Fire District fiscal year 2020. I will turn this over to you, Commissioner Picone.
Thanks. Just get myself organized, sorry.
Okay, not a problem.
All right, for those of you that were here on Tuesday, we're going to do it pretty much the same way. All right, starting off with revenue, income from taxes and other income. Looking at a total of $8,600,000, $8,606,301. Any questions or public input? All right, just as a reminder, once we close a section, we're not going to go back to it. So, right.
Moving forward.
Right. Expenses, equipment, maintenance, and repairs, an increase to $247,000. Any questions? All right. Closing that, utilities increased from $439,000 to $449,570. Input. All right. Contracted salaries, $6,561,784. Any questions there? All right.
Just to review that 6400.01, that takes into account the additional firefighters, correct?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Okay. Retirees' cost increased to $209,710. Okay, and administration $413,077. Okay, administrative expenses $620,615. All right, employee expenses $22,850. Other miscellaneous expenses, a slight increase to $61,000. All right, general reserve account is still going to remain unfunded. Deficit reduction account is currently at zero. I have a proposal to move $15,695 from capital improvements and moving that to our deficit reduction account.
Is there a motion on the table?
We have a motion for a 5-minute point of order, 5-minute recess, please.
I'm sorry?
Motion for a 5-minute recess to talk to the solicitor and the finance director. Just a 5-minute recess before we vote.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion on the motion to take a 5-minute recess?
I don't have an issue if he has something important to ask.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
So the motion is by Commissioner Santoro, seconded by Commissioner Hogan. All in favor of taking a 5-minute recess, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Okay. Folks, we're going to have a 5-minute recess. All right. We're ready to go?
Ready?
Okay. Commissioner Picone, I believe you were suggesting making a transfer of money into
Correct.
the deficit repayment account.
Correct. So we have capital improvements budgeted at $20,695. I'm proposing to move $15,695 of that into the deficit reduction account.
Zero again, 15?
15.
$15,695.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner, Solicitor.
So I'm just trying to understand the procedurally. The other night, the finance director made several suggested amendments that you heard, but you did not apply to the budget. So I would suggest that before you start making new amendments, I understand that you all got an amended budget based on what you talked about the other night. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the first motion I would make, if you choose to, is to amend the budget with, call it, do you give that a number or no?
I didn't.
Okay, so just amend the budget as proposed by the finance director that you have in your hand. Then you don't have to make every single amendment, because you're doing it all at once.
Okay.
So that's one motion. Now you've got all the amendments from the other night. Second motion will be Commissioner Pacone's motion, and any others that you want to make,
Okay.
if that's what you choose to do.
Fine with me. So is there a motion on the table to accept the amended budget?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Pacone. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Hogan?
contracted salaries, 18-19 was $6,494,496. The last meeting, the 19-20 was $6,576,783. The revised, or the information we got this evening on the contracted salaries was the same 1890 amount, but it's $6,561,784. Is that a typo, or is that, was there an adjustment made in the contracted salaries portion of this? I'm not a mathematician, I don't even know what the difference is, but 576, so it's, what, almost 15,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you referring to 6561?
Under expenses, yeah, it's not a line item on here.
Right, it's a subtotal.
Yes.
6561,784,
Correct.
and I don't have my...
There was a change to the payroll tax expense line also.
Thank you.
That was the only change in that category.
Oh.
The payroll tax expense.
So, just to be clear, we're just voting on this amended budget,
Yes.
not voting on the budget itself.
No, we're not voting on the budget itself. That won't be until next week.
That will be tonight.
First vote is tonight.
You're just
right,
making,
sorry.
you're
Yep.
making amendments right now. You're not voting on the entire budget right now.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor of accepting the amended budget, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Solicitor, is it appropriate to save all of the amendments and vote at the end with all the amendments, or should we do this amendment by amendment?
Well, I would say that if there's going to be a lot of them, you might want to do them all at once, but if there's only going to be a few here and there after the ones you've already adopted, then I would just do them one at a time.
Okay.
I mean, you know, in the course of discussing it.
So back to you, Commissioner Pacone. You're proposing an amendment to the 8001 deficit repayment account.
Correct. Taking $15,695 from line 7310, capital improvements, moving that to line 8001, deficit repayment account.
Is there a motion on the table to accept this amendment?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Jones, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kutsiani. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of the amended, moving money from line 7310 to line 8001 for a total of $15,695. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0.
Before we proceed any further, could I ask how many other amendments do you think there might be at this point in time? Do you have an idea? Is this,
I have no idea.
I'm asking,
I have one additional.
you have no
Okay.
additional? Oh, okay.
One
I don't know what
additional.
everyone else has, but I have one more.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Okay. Second proposal would be from the bottom of your page 3, line 6905-01, drills and training. Propose moving $2,500 from that line item to deficit repayment account 8001.
Okay.
Which means that you're proposing that 6905.01 be changed from 12,500 to 10,000, and that 2,500 be transferred or allocated to 8001 deficit repayment account.
Correct.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Is there a motion on the table to accept this amendment?
I'll make the motion to accept that amendment as stated.
Commissioner Kutsiani is proposing his motion to accept the amendment as stated. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of moving $2,500 from line 6905.01 to line 8001. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0.
Madam Chair, could I address the Vice Chair, Chairman, please?
Absolutely.
Have you thought about maybe moving some funds from the contingency account?
No, I'm not against it.
I'm sorry?
I'm not against it. What if, that's going to be line item
Oh,
7010.
I'm sorry.
What have we used that for in the past?
It's been an arbitrary account that we use when we're not sure where to put something, but I think we're being very specific with the budget this year, so last year, I believe we put 9,000 in there. This year, we were budgeting 10,000.
We used that for the RISE program this year, is that right? Is that what we used it for?
We did not,
No, that wasn't it? Okay.
no. That was capital improvements.
Have they used it at all this year?
It was used. I don't have a printout of exactly what it was used for. I can tell you how much. $7,209 to date. I don't have the specifics, but like I said, sometimes things get put into that account that,
Fall through the cracks, don't fit in one category, makes sense.
so since we're being more specific and more, budget conscious,
I would say, maybe do half.
I'd say half.
I'd like to propose moving $5,000 from line item, just lost it.
7010.
Thank you. 7010 contingency, moving that to deficit repayment account line 8001.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Hogan. Any discussion? Sorry, any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kutsiani?
just to clarify it with particulars, the motion as stated would be to take from the contingency fund 7010 $5,000 and move it to, again, to 8001 deficit repayment plan account for an additional $5,000 to what's already been on that amendment, which is presently stated at $18,195. And if this were to pass, it would make it a grand total of $23,195.
That is correct.
Thank you. That's my understanding.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the amending, moving 5,000 from line 7010 to 8001, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Any public comment on these? Commissioner Picone, are we all set?
That's all that I have.
Moving forward. Approval of purchases and payment of bills. Oh, we have to vote, sorry. Oh, my goodness. Yikes. Is there a motion on the table to vote for the operating budget for the Cumberland Fire District fiscal year 2019-2020 on the table? Can I have a motion, please?
As amended.
As amended, thank you.
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Picone. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner
does
Hogan?
anybody have a total now where we're at as far as budgetary for 1920? It was 8606301. We got to have changes somewhere along the line. Now I just,
Should be the same. It would stay the
Same?
same.
Okay.
We
All right.
use,
Yeah, we didn't
just
just
move
move.
the same amount
We
of
didn't
funds.
move, we didn't add any money, we just moved it around. Any further discussion? All in favor of,
I have a
oh, Commissioner,
As the, to approve this budget as proposed with the amendment, I'm going to indicate to the board that I am going to vote in favor of this proposed amended budget. And it's at a great deal of reluctance that I do so. It's not because we haven't tried. I know everyone on this board has tried immensely through various avenues to try to find ways of coming up with the correct numbers that will satisfy the operational aspect of the department plus the state of Rhode Island. Again, I dislike this budget, but the aspect is with a great deal of hard work and effort, and because we have to do something in regards to it, I think it has to be done. Thank you.
thank you. Commissioner Kutsiani? Any further discussion? Shall we take a roll call vote? Thank you. I'm calling for a roll call vote on the budget. Commissioner Picone?
Yes.
Commissioner Hogan?
yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Kutsiani?
Reluctantly, yes.
Commissioner Santoro?
No.
And Commissioner Willett votes yes.
Madam Chair, I would just ask that you announce that that concludes the public hearing portion, because the next, on Tuesday, you will only be taking a second vote. So just to make the public aware that that's the conclusion of the public hearings on the budget.
Thank you. This concludes the public hearings to establish the operating budget for the Cumberland Fire District fiscal year 2019-2020. Next week, we will vote on the budget. Thank you. All right, moving on, approval of purchases and payment of bills. Okay, the first, Diane, do you want to come to the podium? No, actually, you can stay there. You're fine. The first bill is WB Mason, 4 paper items for a total of $54.54.
This is what we're looking at.
I think
Sorry.
that one is not on the list.
What, WB Mason?
I think that had previously been done.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the bills themselves. Maybe? Okay. All right, medical exams for 2 firefighters for a total of $295.
Have these already been performed, Diane?
Excuse me, Beth? I believe they're medical exams for the new recruits.
What's that?
Medical exams?
Does she have a copy?
Those are the psych tests. Psych tests for the last 3 guys, 2 or 3 guys.
2 people.
Beth, you want to sit there?
They've already been done.
We had to have them done, so.
Motion approved.
Madam Chair, if I may make a suggestion, if it's possible.
Yes.
I know we have this pre-printed form here that lists, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bills for a total of $2,535.90. I would suggest that if there are questions on any one of the bills, we ask those questions now, because maybe we could vote to approve the entire amount as stated for those
Yes.
total bills.
Okay. So I have a question. Why do we have building supplies at two stations?
That's my fault, Madam Chair. After the spending freeze, it was my understanding that it was okay to purchase essential items. And I viewed building supplies as essential items. And at that time, after I had told them it was okay, that we can do this, I then spoke to Solicitor Morris, and she clarified in an email exactly what the spending freeze entailed. And from that point on, that email from Solicitor Morris did go out to everybody to explain that no purchases were to be made other than contractual and reoccurring. So that was my fault. I misunderstood what was okay to purchase and what wasn't.
Okay, thank you. I just have to reiterate for the second time that a spending freeze is a spending freeze, and we don't need to see these kind of bills here. So, is everybody aware of it? This is the game plan. Spending freeze means you're not spending anything.
It's my understanding that everything on this list are bills that we have in hand of things that have already been purchased, repaired, whatever. What's in the folder are... No? Oh, I'm sorry.
There are bills on here that have not been.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The WB Mason bill is an order. It's not it hasn't been purchased yet. All right, I'm sorry.
The rental of the PO box,
Right.
and all that stuff, that's not paid for yet.
It's not paid for yet, right, it's not paid for yet.
You will not have a PO box.
Right, right,
Well, that's essential then.
right.
I mean,
What's being ordered from Janitech for building supplies? Is that toilet paper and we can't get a better,
I'm sorry?
we can't get a better rate than what they're giving us?
We are actually working with WB Mason on that right now.
Yeah.
Beth has sent them all of our information, and we have a sales rep who said that he would do the analysis for us
Okay, because...
and give us the state contractual prices. So we're hoping it will be better.
Because I don't understand what $398, almost $400 in building supplies were purchased.
There is a copy of the bill in the folder. I think Chairperson Pacone may have it.
It is probably like for 2 to 3 months of supplies.
No.
I say just pick the ones out that have need further discussion. Madam Chair, if I may suggest, I'm looking at this list, I consider these, I know I haven't asked any questions, but just with the description, these are what I consider ordinary, reoccurring necessary services and supplies. And what I'm trying to clarify in my own mind is, should we not pay these reoccurring supplies? I know we do. The budget says no, so maybe we should say no to all of them, but because they are reoccurring, continuing services that have been done in the past, and I assume that are needed, that they should be allowed.
So my comment to that would be to Diane. I just remember paying bills and you let them go 30, 60, 90 days. You don't pay them, they accumulate interest, right? Diane? So what he's suggesting is not repaying the recurring bills, letting them wait until...
I'm not saying that they should wait. I'm trying to get a clarification whether that's what we should do or not do. I thought we would be...
Not paying.
Well, we don't have the money, so maybe we can't pay them.
But the bills are gonna become event. So for example, whatever, the computer development system, we don't pay $211.85, then in 30 days, they're gonna add 5%, 8%, 60 days, they're gonna add another 10% on top of that. Every 30 days you go without paying a bill, it adds interest on the principal. So eventually, we have to pay for the subscription computer Microsoft upgrade for the tax collector. That's a done deal. It has to be done. It's in the budget for last year and this year. This is just a small part of it. If we don't pay the recurring fees, we're at risk of, and there's no question, any vendor is going to add interest, right, Diane? For regular, normal operating.
Microsoft Office will cease if
What's
we
that?
don't. We will not have Microsoft Office if we don't pay that fee.
Yeah.
We
so
need a
can't.
P.O. box, so we have to pay that. We've already had these supplies delivered. We don't want them to send us to a collection agency.
Is there anything on the list that hasn't already been delivered or... Because at this point, if these are things that we've already received, then there shouldn't be any discussion on if we pay them or not.
Right, they have to be paid. Yep.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Hogan.
By the end of the month.
Microsoft Office is an automatic renewal. They charge our account.
Oh, yeah, we're all getting them.
If I may, I think it's kind of silly that we're dickering over a $211 bill on an $8 million budget where we need to make a lot more savings. There's issues where there's maintenance, whether it's doors or windows or whatever the case may be. That's what we need to be looking at. We shouldn't be going to one vendor. We should be trying to get the best price all the time for whatever that particular issue is. And it seems like we just keep going to the same vendors over and over and over again. And I think what we need to do is get a list of vendors that, whatever we repair, once again, just for instance, when socket door is $260, sure, it's not a lot of money, but over the course of the year, I'm sure that it's been more money than that. So why can't we look at somebody local or get some bids on different things instead of just saying, oh, well, he treats us okay, but he's charging us 5% more. So I think that's something we need to look at.
I agree.
Madam Chair, just parting comments. your bylaws require getting either 3 quotes, going out to bid. That's not happening. So Commissioner Hogan is exactly right. These purchases have to go through it's required by state law, not just your bylaws. There's a provision in the bylaws that talks about recurring services. It's never been addressed. So these are all things that are really, really important that can save you thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm happy to tell you again, I mean, I've been saying this for 3 years at least. That's what you really need to get a handle on, is making sure that you're getting quotes, at least 3 quotes for purchases. It's probably between 1,000 and 5,000, and then over 5,000, I'd have to look at the bylaws again, over 5,000 is a bidding process. Because you're gonna save thousands when you do it that way.
I think you also mentioned getting a preferred vendor list as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, exactly.
That's the recurring services, that's in your bylaws.
Yep, excellent idea.
So,
But, I mean, the thing with the door, obviously, you can't let the door just sit there and not be working, you know? It's gotta be fixed.
That's not the point, but
Yeah, I
mean,
understand. We
If
should
I
get-
have a guy that charges $150 to fix the door and a
I
guy that
totally
charges
agree.
$260,
We should get 3 vendors
but
and,
if it's three doors that need to be replaced because this guy does me a favor every once in a while, that's not the point. The fact of the matter is you should
Exactly.
bid these out. So
Yep.
that's all I'm saying.
yeah, we should have a contract with someone who offers us the best rate for these emergency repairs.
You should have 3 vendors.
No, we shouldn't have a contract with someone. We should have a
three
number.
vendors. You should have
We had 3
or more
vendors,
people
not
that
1
can come in.
person, 3 vendors at
But
least,
someone-
at the minimum.
Yeah, I'm talking about emergency repairs.
Well, I'm talking about all repairs. Put it out to bid.
I'm just not sure that, I don't want to take over the $260 for the door, but how are you going to get 3 vendors to come in and do a bid that has to be done within a day to fix the door? I mean, I don't know the particulars of the door. Those Station 2 doors broke when I was riding in 1989. You raise it to go to a call at 3 in the morning, it stops halfway and just sits there. It happens.
I'm just using that as a
I totally
as a
agree,
point of
Tim.
view.
And you're-
It's just something that popped in my head here.
Entirely
It could be
right.
anything.
I
If
could
it were
not
a
agree more.
If it were a
100%.
situation like that, then you call the door company.
Yeah,
And have them fix it because they installed it, so they should fix
Yeah.
it. All right, I'm suggesting that we have to pay these bills because of services rendered. And I do not want to get dinged for any interest if we delay spending.
And who's going to deal with us if we start
Right.
shafting?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And they walk away.
I'm sorry. Just one comment.
The Valley Breeze invoice for $535, that's part of the tax collector's sale. We do get reimbursed for that. So it's a bill we pay, but we get
Right,
reimbursed.
okay, thank you. Is there a motion on the table to approve payment?
Motion?
Motion by Commissioner Santoro, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hogan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of approval of these payments, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Moving forward, my expectation is that we are going to look for the cheapest price for whatever comes in or before it is ordered. And I'm going to tell you, this freeze has to just continue. When fiscal year 20 starts, we can't look at the budget and say, okay, now we can start spending again. We can't.
I believe there's an ending to it. Hold on.
There was.
It says until further notice.
Okay.
I thought at the top it said.
That's not the resolution, though. That's just whereas. The actual resolution says shall be delayed until further notice. So it goes until you say it doesn't anymore.
Okay, great.
I've also had conversations with Finance Chair Pacone regarding procedures for purchasing and spending going forward.
Okay,
to keep a very tight control on this budget.
yes, thank you. All right. We need an approval of a start date for our new finance director.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve the start,
I'm sorry. Can I change that date to the 7th, please?
The 7th?
Instead of the 9th.
Motion to amend?
I work Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I would like to have him
be
begin
there on a day that you
and
work?
stay with me.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I would come in on another additional day, but I think Tuesday would be a good day to start, and I actually am going to introduce him to the tax office and have him spend some time there and
Okay.
start learning that as well.
So Diane, under discussion, you can ask your questions, right? So I make a motion to amend?
Before we do anything, let's have a motion to amend the start date, please,
Motion to amend.
by Commissioner Santoro.
to
Is there a second?
May 7th.
Second?
Second by Commissioner Jones. All in favor of approving the start date, the amended start date for the new finance director being May 7th, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 6-0. All right.
Motion to approve as amended.
Motion to approve as amended by Commissioner Santoro. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pacone.
Discussion.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Hogan?
I just want to say that interviewing the applicants for this position, I just want to make it known that there is no increase in any compensation that this individual receive. He's coming in at the same rate as Mrs. Carolishan has received. There may be less salary and more in benefits, I think is what we talked about. So I just want that mentioned, that we're not, so down the road, we're not spending money that we don't have.
Right. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Jones?
Question, Diane, does that give you sufficient overlap time with the new person for debriefing and do the best we
It
can?
has to be.
Right.
I mean, I'll have about 4 weeks. It's part-time, we're both part-time, so he can come in, and I have work to do in the next 4 weeks as well, so it'll be a learning experience for him as well, and I'll do the best I can. And I learned a lot of this job on my own, so he has a lot of experience. I think he'll do fine
Thank you.
when I'm not there.
Madam Chair, I think that's a good point. I was sitting here trying to decide, but you're going to continue to stay on until what, May 31st?
Correct.
June 1st.
You said June 5th?
June 1st.
June
Well, June
5th?
1st is a Saturday.
Oh, is that what it was? I forgot. Ms. Mowers pointed out. It was
That's June 5th of 2000.
June 1st. 1. That's my birthday, July.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, let's go to vote, approving the start date, the amended start date for the new finance director. Say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 6-0. Is there any public input? I'd like to take a motion to adjourn this meeting
Motion to adjourn.
by Commissioner Santoro. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pacone. Any discussion? Hearing none, let's go to a vote. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 6-0. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.